Hey guys, Marshall from Limited Resources, and we're doing a draft. As you can see, we're drafting on the new client. We were not given an option as far as whether we would do this or not, and yeah, so here we are. We're drafting on the new client. We opened a pretty nice rare, a Plasm Capture, but I really like Putrefy better. Okay, what is that all about? Right, that's what you do. I like Putrefy the best out of this pack. I don't think Plasm Capture is really worth much, and it's also, I better double check that though. Cap, let's see, it's worth, yeah, 10 cents, so that's not the big winner. It's a pretty decent card though, even in limited. You can get people with it, but as with a lot of these conditional but powerful counter spells, you can get them once usually, and then they've had about enough of that, and they'll usually play around it. Wow. Okay. So we pick up a Rurik Thar here as our second pick, which is basically just super awesome. The only other card that I'd really consider out of this pack is over here, the Thrashing Moss Dog. I guess the Fatal Fumes as well, given our Putrefy. But I'm going to take Rurik Thar because, well, he's just a bomb. What do we have next? Well, there's a Rakdos Guildgate, and that's a card that we could use right off the bat. Looking down the line a little bit, there's also a Rubble Belt Maka, which we could take pretty easily. We could go slightly deeper and take the Haunter of Nightveil and just have like all-powerful cards, but I'm starting to get concerned about actually being able to cast stuff. So for me, I think it's between the Guildgate and the Maka here. I mean, the Guildgate's just sort of a necessity at some point. The Maka is just a solid card. I'm going to take the Guildgate here. I'm just sick of not having the mana to cast my spells, so I'm just doing it. I'm going to windmill... Darn it. I'm going to Windmill Slam this Armed and Dangerous here. As not only is it the best card in the pack, it's in our colors, so take that guy. A lot of the same print runs happening here, and there's not a ton for us. There's an Obsidat's Aid, which we wouldn't really be running, most likely. There's a Rakdos Cluestone, which we might run. And otherwise, we're taking a Battering Krasis or a Higher Torture, which are also okay. I've only got the one creature so far, so I should probably pick up like a Battering Krasis here, I guess. I wouldn't call that an exciting pick, but we do need to fill out the middle part of this deck, and I feel like I can get a Cluestone whenever. I might want one for the deck. I might not. All right, what do we have? Cluestones that we don't want. A couple of Behemoths. There's actually 3 in the pack, it looks like, but really there's only 2 that would go in the deck, a Maze Behemoth or a Maze Abomination. I like Maze Abomination a lot better than I like Bane Alley Blackguard. We'll also note that there's already no gate in this pack. I'm not stoked on picking up a 6-drop here, though. Clearly we want to pick up stuff lower in the pecking order here. Unfortunately, there is nothing. I mean, this Tithe Drinker is certainly tempting, but I think we'll be okay sticking with Jund and probably black-green splash red currently is where we're going. So in the name of that, I'm actually going to take this Rakdos Cluestone. We can use it as a splash color as well, and that's pretty good. Not huge on Morgue Burst, but I think Higher Torture is okay, and I'll take him. All right, here's this another Rakdos Cluestone. I think I'm actually going to take this Gatekeepers, though. Jeez, why does it do this? I have to keep doing this over and over. A Gruul Cluestone certainly could make the deck. We could even be a 2 Cluestone deck. I don't love this card. I don't hate it. I don't like this one. I don't like this one, and I don't like this one. I love Mastiff, but let's just take the Cluestone because it has the highest chance of actually making it into our deck. Second Hired Torturer. Not too bad, but man, Pilfered Plants is a great card. But unfortunately, I don't think we can do it. I'm just going to take the Hired Torturer here. I'll take a Drown in Filth, but I'm going to move it to the board because I don't think that card's very good. But there's another one. I mean, I suppose they probably get a little better in multiples. And I took, what is going on here? Sort. by casting cost. There it is. I don't know where that went. And I don't know why this is over here. How could it be lower than it's either 2, a 4, or a 6. Well, apparently Magic Online thinks that it's a 0. Now, one of the cool things about the new client is, I guess I'll leave that there, is that we get to build our deck as we go, even if it just randomly seems to put these cards down. But as you can see, I can put stuff in the sideboard already, and when we go to deck build, it just stays there, so that's nice. All right, what do we get? Well, right away I saw that Zertos Swine at the bottom. That looks like the pickup here. There's a Spark Trooper, which is sweet, but off color and not really that great anyway. Another card that we could consider is a Balustrade Spy. Let's take a look at what we're doing color-wise. Yeah, it looks like we're still green-black base. So if I take the Zertos Swine, I'm contributing to our splash a little bit. Balustrade Spy is a fine card. Probably still better with the Swine, though, just because it's just a more powerful card. It's just that simple. Okay, I'm just going to take this Croconura over here. There's a Cinder Elemental. That's fine. I mean, I wouldn't be embarrassed to take that here, but I really would rather keep the red to a splash. And I love Croconura. I mean, how can you not love this guy? Look at him. What do we pick up here? Well, basically nothing. There's 2 very, very high quality cards in this pack. Neither of them are in our colors, so we can look to splash one or just cut one. I think I'm just going to take this Consuming Aberration here. That or the Lashes. I mean, there is a Dimir Guildgate here. We're probably not going to wheel it, but there's a small chance, and if we do, I think I'd rather have this Aberration, so I'm going to take that. So it looks like we're getting cut pretty darn hard here. There's a 5-alarm Fire and a massive raid, but both of them are double red, and I'm just not really that interested, so I'm going to take another 6-drop here. Unfortunately, that kind of caps us out on 6 drops. I'm not really looking to get any further than that. This is a reasonable pickup. We can pick up this Armored Transport, but I'm going to take the Key Rune here. Ah, yes. Lovely. Sorry, your connection to Magic Online has failed. I'll be right back. All right, now we're logging back in, and we're going to see how many picks we've missed. This is fantastic. Yeah. The location I'm connected in is this one, actually. Sure, I'd love to send an error report. You know what else I'd love to do? Finish my draft. It says my draft has started. All right, well, here's our pick, and we've got 43 seconds, so I have no idea what we got out of that last pack. We could probably just look down here since we have some time. Looks like it doesn't save this either. That's good to know. Well, I guess we got an Armored Transport, which, yeah, I guess I won't argue with that. I'm going to take this Guildgate here. Not close, as they say in the business. Next not close pick is going to be this. Actually, it is close. There's a Disciple of the Old Ways, but I'm still taking. Actually, you know what? I don't know what I'm taking. Sort. Sorry if you guys can't see this properly. Let me move it up for you. It did not open in the same place that it was before. Yeah, this is a lovely little program we have here. It just crashes in the middle. Very, very frustrating that we're forced to use this. I'm actually going to take the Disciple of the Old Ways. We need 2s, and we've got way too many 3s, and we're splashing red anyway. Same line of thinking here. Gutter Skulk. Oh, that's what I was going to take. So I got the Armored Transport, but I think I was in the middle of picking the Dimir Key Rune so that I could splash this Consuming Aberration, which I now cannot, most likely. I'm going to take this Gargoyle here just because it has the best chance of actually making the deck for us. None of these are really cards that we care about, so I'm just going to cut this Wojak Halberdiers. I mean, sure, I could take a Naturalize, and it might be correct, but not super worried about it, I don't think. What are you doing here? I mean, there's no other cards for us anyway, but jeez. Okay, well, there's all our picks. I think our deck's coming around. I want more 2s, more removal, and more gates. Otherwise, I like our top end a lot. I like our 3-drop slot decently. I mean, 2 Higher Tortures perhaps isn't super exciting, but it's not too bad either. And I like where we're set up coming into this pack. Oh, all right, well, I would really like this Guildgate right here. And there's a lot of good cards in our pack, but I'm actually just taking this Deathrite Shaman. I think this card's just very good and limited. You can gain you a bunch of life and keep you alive for a really long time, and that's pretty good. What do we have here? Bunch of fairly unexciting cards. Now, we're still splashing the red, right? Yeah, we are. So we're still on the red splash. We've managed to keep that plan alive, which means Gorehouse Chainwalker gets just way worse in our deck. Is it bad enough, though, that we would take a Stonefair Crocodile over it? Probably not. I'm probably still just going to take this. I mean, there's a Golgari Longlegs, which is fine, but I mean, I would take like a Guildgate, an on-color Guildgate over this Chainwalker, but there's really nothing else for us, so I'm just going to take it. Same thing with this Rixmati Guildmage. I mean, it's much better than the Gorehouse Chainwalker, and the Promenade would be pretty nice in our deck. Locust would make the cut probably, but I mean, I'm just going to take the best card here. The thing about Rixmati Guildmage in comparison to Gorehouse Chainwalker is that the Guildmage can come down on turn 2 and be awesome, but it can come down on turn 6 and be awesome too. It's very good at almost any stage of the game. It just makes blocking a complete nightmare for your opponent. When it comes to the Gorehouse Chainwalker, sweet on turn 2, much less so later in the game. Well, we've got 2 choices. Well, 3. There's a Towering Indrik as well, but there's no way I'm passing this Augur Spree. Another card that is very good later in the game as well as early. I'm going to take this Daggerdrome Imp, not because I think it's great, but because I want more 2-drops, and it's good. It's a good card. It's just I'm not the biggest Daggerdrome Imp fan out there. Some people really like that card, and I'm not one of them. But I do think it's playable and good, and I think it certainly deserves a slot in the deck. Wouldn't mind some, even some mediocre stuff at this point. Some Drudge Beetles or whatever would be totally fine. All right, Dead Reveler or a Centaur Herald. Well, Dead Reveler's definitely the way that I'm going here. Basically, that means I can cut out one of these Torturers. I have 25 cards here, so I've got cuts to make anyway. I can actually probably just cut this other Torture. I don't think I really want it. This Armored Transport, probably not going to make the cut either, as it doesn't seem to really fit into the deck very well. Mending Touch can go away. This Consuming Aberration, unfortunately, since I wasn't able to pick that other gate or that other key rune, it's going to take it out of contention. I probably would have preferred to have that over one of these, and then on top of it like a Dimir Guildgate or something to make it work, but it didn't happen. So Centaur's Herald, Rogue Passage, and Launch Party are the cards that I'm looking at. I'm going to take the Launch Party here. The thing is, I like the Centaur's Herald, but we're doing quite a bit at 3, and I think that Launch Party is like the last piece of removal that we need to feel pretty good about our situation here. I'm going to take this Giant Growth. Ooh, am I? Yeah, I absolutely am. Giant Growth is just too good. Perilous Shadow, Tenement Crasher. These are good cards. This pack we opened. This is an interesting and tough decision. Probably cut this Bane Alley Blackguard. I mean, I want 2 drops, but I don't know if I want them that bad. Tenement Crasher, another 6. Yeah, these are both hard for us to cast. I guess I'm going to take the Perilous Shadow. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not, though. Yeah, I don't really care about any of these. I'll take the Druid's Deliverance. I'm going to put the Shadow on the board for now. What does this do again? Whenever a creature you don't control dies? Well, I can do some of that. I wonder if I should just take that. I think I'm going to take the Grave Betrayal here. I like it. I don't like it as too much as a card, but we do have a decent amount of removal with Augur, Spree, Putrefy, Launch Party, and then even this Armed and Dangerous acts as removal sometimes. Whatever, I'll take this foil card, I guess. This is 23 right here. Ooh, we got an Elmer. You know, if we're going to run 2 Clue Stones, running a 7 occasionally isn't too bad. Probably not going to run Grave Betrayal, but I might. It's an interesting one. I don't know. The only card that I really don't like out of this is this Gorehouse Chainwalker. Like, it's the most awkwardly positioned. Okay, easy there. Jeez, what is going on with this thing? Let's get a sort by color here. Oops. So, of our red cards, we've got a Rixmati Guildmage, and then a Zertoswine Ruination Worm, and Ruakthar. So, and then we've got the armed side of Armed and Dangerous, which are all 6s. They're basically all 6s, or Augur, Spree, and Rixmati Guildmage, where we don't really care when we... I mean, they're not going to be cast early anyway. I think I can cut this guy. And then that puts us at 22. So what that means is I can put in a card like Armored Transport. I can put in Axebane Stag. Elmer can make an appearance. I can put in a Bane Alley Blackguard or a Perilous Shadow. Perilous Shadow gets a little sketchy, but it might be the right one. Double black is pretty scary when we're spread out across 3 colors. And I can't say I'm a big fan of it. Armored Transport, another random 3-drop. That might be the right choice as well. I just don't know if I want to run this Grave Betrayal in the main here. It's just it's really tough to beat once it gets online, but it's really hard to get it online. I mean, you need to have removal, and you need to have 7 mana, and then their stuff needs to start dying, and then they can't really come back. So I think I'm going to wait. This puts us at 22, so I'd still need one more card here. Yeah, it's probably just this Transport. I can always cast it. It's easy to cast, and it's not like the worst card. It's just not particularly well suited for this deck, I don't think. In fact, it's actually just kind of bad in here. It doesn't even evolve our Battering Krasis. I like the Gatekeepers here because they're just a defensive card that can clog up the ground. It's a little awkward that we have the Maze Abomination and we have like this and this, I think, are the only 2 gold. I guess this guy, but he's kind of has built-in Death Touch. Maybe I do just want this Bane Alley Blackguard. Like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it like this. All right, let's add some lands. Magic Online says 5, 4, 6. So we're certainly base black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half. And then green 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, so we're green black about equal, and then our red is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 mountains seems like a little too many. I think we can go to 6 and 3. That gives us 5 red sources. Green, it gives us 6, 7. I'm just talking about lands here. 7, and then black, it gives us 6, 7, which is pretty good considering that we have a Gruul and a Rakdos Kludstone. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to submit this thing. All right, well, assuming that Magic Online decides to let us actually play, I'll be back with round 1 in a minute.